Welthal, David Tuckman here for A-Day Poker. It's Magic Monday, folks. That's right.
Oh, here we go. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, look at these hands.
Kings are good. We are heads up. The double elimination. I love double KOs. Whoa.
No, he calls, and it's going to be over.
I've got a keyword giveaway, Nick.
This is for another $109 ticket.
We're going to go with Madrid.
Type Madrid in chat. Type it. Wants to win.
There's a ticket. Oh, Banfield had a big one.
Oh,
Banfield.
The Jillians.
Oh, wow. What a run out. Hello and welcome. What are you doing?
Just enjoying the start.
Hello and welcome to Magic Monday. He's Nick Welthal. I'm David Tuckman. We're here courtesy of A-Day Poker. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of giveaways. We've got free rolls for you, all sorts of goodness. And, of course, our final table of the 100K main event. Nick, how are you? You seem giggly today.
I'm probably hysterical because it's 34 degrees here in the UK, and that is about 15 degrees hotter than most UK people can cope with, David Tuckman.
That is very hot.
It's very hot. It's very hot. But what better thing to do than watch some poker in my air-conditioned home office, while my wife suffers in the rest of the house as I hog the only air conditioning unit.
You only have one air conditioning unit. More on that later, folks. Hello, everybody in the chat. What's going on, everybody? We have a free roll for you. We have tons of giveaways. We have 7 $109 tickets to give away. Yes, you heard me correctly. 7 $109 tickets to give away. If you're new to the show, you're probably thinking, are these satellites? Are these No, these are actually $109 tickets we're giving away.
Big
all
boys.
told, right, all told, well over $1,200 in value. That's in addition to the wit and humor you will experience over the next hour plus.
Yes, that's all inclusive. You can't separate the two, unfortunately, for you. And we've got some great poker. Our final table, 100K Mystery Bounty main event, a big one in itself. The big bounty's gone. EV15 finished 17th and won that. So well done them. But a lot of money still to play for.
Yeah, all the big bounties are gone. You mentioned good poker. You know what? I'm not going to promise that. Let's see.
David Tuckman, unwilling to commit to the quality of his product at this time.
I mean, it'll be entertaining. It's a final table. We just never know if it's going to be great poker, right? I mean, sometimes it's mediocre. Who knows? All in here. The fun game that Nick loves to play. When will we get to big blinds? When will the switch happen, folks? Get your guesses in. You'll win nothing except our admiration and respect.
That's right. If you even remotely understand why we have chip counts under the players' names and then it flips to big blinds, please do let us know, because nobody here knows. Literally no one knows. It just happens. It's very strange.
It is very, very strange. A little bit about our chip leader at this table here. That is JSJ588. They've already locked up $600 in bounties. Their last tournament was their biggest cash, by the way, so they've been running hot. They finished 10th in the XL Spring main event, where they won $5,200. Nice. So yeah, they're feeling good. They're running hot. They're in the zone, as we say, and they could be in trouble here. Although we'll see this one plays out. We got some big boys here. We got nines in the big blind. We got Ace King, Ace Queen, and Ace Jack out in the field.
Yeah, and a quick shout out just in case something bad happens this hand. Bluffing 420S was in our Stream On contest. They were one of our potential streamers, so we know them. Good luck to them as they go all in with the Ace King.
I love it. Well, they're in great shape here to at least double up, if not more. JSJ gets out of the way. The nines get out of the way as well. And there's a king. Running queens would be disgusting.
Oh, would be horrible.
No. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen, though. And full double up for bluffing. The streaming contestant is up to 1.2 million. Gets out of the basement.
Very, very good. Is there a free roll tonight, David?
Hold on, let me check my books.
Can our friends in chat play poker for no money down and yet still win some money?
I've got files on this here. Hold on a second.
Yeah. David's just cross-referencing.
Yep. Free roll today. Password is Oh, well, it's disappointing though, folks. It's free. It's going to cost you nothing. Sorry.
$3.99.
Yeah, we can't do anything about that. It's 888 FTFR. FTFR. 888 FTFR.
FTFR.
Yes. How would you say that, Nick?
You nailed it. That's the correct pronunciation, no question.
I think it stands for Final Table Free Roll.
I think it stands for First Time Forget Something. I don't know what it stands for. I've got no clue. It's not what you said, surely.
No. That's stupid. Blinds are 35,000, 70,000. I have no idea how many big blinds each player has, but that'll be cleared up for us at some point in the next hour.
There's simply no way to know how many big blinds they have. It's impossible.
I mean, who can? Okay, does anybody know how to divide something by 70,000?
Right, without a calculator, by the way, because obviously we're on the air, so we can't use a calculator. It's not possible, as far as I know.
No.
Stupid.
Hello, Lime Ricky. Lime Ricky, our amazing moderator.
Hello,
in the
Lime.
chat. She's in there, and I see a lot of you in the chat. What's up, Canada Rocks? What's up, S Butcher 00? Hello, Hamaleon. Master Grogu. Jo Tromus. Gairuka 90. Moss Shark. Getamonus. Run Gooder. Stevie the Chef. Hello, everybody.
Leo wants to know what it was like being in the booth for the heads up of the Millie Maker. Leo was laughing at you trying to explain it.
That was fun. Did you hear about this, Nick?
No, what spare a thought for the commentators. I did hear about it. Yes.
That was fun.
I thought it was quite random.
That was a lot of fun. And my favorite part of it.
People will want to know, were you told not to say that it was obviously a little bit weird? Or because you were kind of having to skirt around it, weren't you?
Yeah, well, there's a couple things that they did not want us to mention. They didn't want us to mention a competitor, a competing sponsor, another online site. And I was like, okay,
difficult.
That made it difficult. We got Kings versus Tens, by the way, here.
Yeah, let's see this.
And this could get interesting. And it is, again, it is the streaming contestant.
Oh, wow. Great for them.
Yeah, this is a great situation for them. Can they hold? Can they hold? They can hold, and look at this. Bluffing, 420s, now up to 2.2 million. They are overwhelming short stack with about 8 big blinds. And don't look now, but they have more than that.
We can't know how much.
It's like 30 big blinds, maybe 31, 32, something like that. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So they did not want me to mention the another competing online site, and we didn't want to. They also didn't want us to kind of just put it out there, like even though it was quite obvious what was going on. It was all alleged. Right. So instead, I just, about as sarcastically as I possibly could, alluded to it as many times as possible. There was one point in the commentary, I was doing it with Joe Stapleton. And I actually asked Stapes, I said, do you like wrestling, Joe? And we started talking about wrestling, and we brought up, I was like, the only problem with wrestling is I like wrestling because it's scripted entertainment. And we go into it knowing it's fake. It would be annoying if they tried to pretend it was real, but it was really fake. So, we did everything but hit somebody over the head and just explicitly say it.
Yeah, very strange situation to be in.
It was a weird spot. I have never been in that situation before in all my years of commentary. I am looking forward to, by the way, I'm going to Vegas in a couple of days for some World Series of Poker main event coverage. I'll be commentating on, I believe, 4 days of it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of us will hear you walking us through the biggest tournament in the planet. Yeah,
it's it's a tournament that I get excited about. I mean, the main event is just such a unique animal and so much fun. And, The excitement is it's real. Got straight draw versus straight draw, by the way. Pair of nines, though, for the player in the big blind. And my boss over at the World Series did ask me, said, hey, do you want to play this year or do you want to commentate? And I said, how many days of commentary will I get? I said, if it's only one, I'd probably rather play. But he said it would be 3 or 4. And I said, okay, I'll broadcast. I'll commentate instead.
Zipper makes 2 pair here, but not a board that you can have any confidence in your 2 pair on.
No, it's just a question of whether Love to Win thinks they need to bluff at this or if their jack has showdown value. And I would imagine this bet is saying, I'm going to set up a bluff. I don't expect Zipper to fold just yet, but we'll see. It is 1/3 of their chips, and they do let it go.
Yeah, it's just a tough spot, isn't it? You're out of position, and obviously there's a full line straight.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Just like, do you think your opponent has it or not? That's it, right?
Yeah. And then do you also want to have a river decision, which you might well have, because if they have it, they've probably nutted, and if they don't have it, they're probably bluffing. So not fun for Zipper.
Yeah. Thank you, Game Changer. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, it was an interesting experience for Stapes and I, and not particularly easy, but we did our best there. Action folds around, and that's got to be annoying. No action whatsoever for the queens.
Incredibly annoying. But bluffing 420's had a good final table. So they can't, nobody that gets kings on the button and tens from the chip leader and big blind can complain too much.
No. Again, they came in as our short stack, and they are now second in chips. This is a big shove from Pasht, who's our chip leader, by the way. Don't imagine this will get called by anybody. What's up, Butcher?
First time we've seen them in action, and they're shoving over a 2 big blind raise, so I think they will be getting a lot of respect.
You would imagine so. I'm actually disappointed you're not going to be in Vegas for the main event. I feel like you should play. I would buy a large piece of you.
Ah, that's very kind of you. Maybe I'll plan to do it. Maybe I'll plan to do it next year. I think with the business now, I probably can go out. I just need to plan to do it.
Yes.
So that would be fun.
You should definitely do it. That would be amazing.
I heard the main event is like too tough now. Everybody's a pro.
No, not true. Not true. Definitely not true. No, I mean, I haven't played it in like 2 years, so maybe that's changed, but come on.
I don't think so. The thing about the World Series of Poker is there's like the best part of 10,000 players, and there just aren't 10,000 professional level poker players in the world. So by definition, you've got a lot of people that shouldn't be in a $10,000 tournament.
And I'll just throw this out. Like, okay, are the really bad players a little bit better? Absolutely, 100%. But there are still people out there that like to gamble. There are still people out there that can't fold enough, that are impatient. There are still plenty of players out there that have no emotional control over themselves and let their emotions, dictate their decision-making process. And I would still argue that the ones that think they're good, they're probably far worse than they think they are. Just like they have that whole adage of like a little bit of information can be dangerous. I think there's a lot of players out there that studied a little bit of solver, a little bit of GTO, and now they think they're good, and they're just not. Sorry. I mean, I'm not going to say that the game is the game's definitely more difficult than it was, say, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But there's still plenty of dead money. I still guarantee you would sit down on day one and you'd be like, what were you all thinking? You all decided to pony up $10,000? What were you thinking? How rich are you?
Important news. We've gone to big blinds, David. 15 minutes in. Again, no actual explanation why, but that's what's happened. So we now know how many big blinds everybody has, which is very helpful. Also, Leo Gygax said 16 minutes. just edging out Player Quiller, who said 17 minutes. So, Leo, you are our what time does it go to Big Blind's winner? And you have won absolutely nothing. Congratulations.
But I heart you, my friend. I heart you. Boom, 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 boom.
There we are. That's a prize that you can't put a price on.
I'm actually thinking, so I know, I want to say during World War II,
Yes. Christ.
the U.S., the U.S. military, and I think it might have been the British military as well, they employed, I know we had Native Americans who were tasked with kind of like figuring out the passwords and stuff like that for like the Germans. I might be butchering this. There's a movie about this. Somebody in the chat can help me out.
What are you trying to say, honey?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is we had some really, really smart people that were hired to essentially decode things from the Axis powers, okay?
Okay.
And I'm wondering if we can employ those same people to figure out when Big Blinds get switched.
Okay.
Because I feel like it might be the same.
You're referring to the Enigma machine decryption. Yes.
Yeah, Game Changer says it best. Where is this story going? It's going nowhere. It should have stopped 4 minutes ago. I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. All in. The 10-8. The 8 just did not believe.
Wow, what a hill to die on.
Well, I mean, when the king came on the turn, I just figured they were like, no way, you can't have a king. But Posh did have the king, and now it's $140 extra in their bounties. Lassie, I'll go with that, finished in 8th place. Takes home $1,500 in bounties, another $750, so all in $2,250 for Lassie.
So if you're in the UK or you're visiting the UK, I do recommend visiting Bletchley Park. I went there last year, and that is where they cracked the Enigma machine. That's where they cracked the German codes. Absolutely fascinating story.
Thank you. See, this is why I love you, Nick. I literally blabber on with the worst story ever, and yet you still take the baton from me, and you finish the race. It's like I fell, I broke my foot, I crawled to you, and you still were like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll take the baton. I have no idea where you're going, but I'll help you out, friend. Thank you. Can we go to Bletcher Park? Can they figure this thing out for us?
That's right. That's what you meant to say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible because it's pre-computer. And then Alan Turing basically was this alien from another planet who not only did that, but then later in his life, after doing that, he basically invented the modern PC, although the technology didn't quite exist to build it. But he invented what we would now call a home computer, which is quite incredible. He's a quite incredible man. So, yeah, that's what you meant to say.
He invented it before. I don't understand. How do you invent something if you didn't actually make it? He
conceptualized the idea. Like you can see his initial drawings and writings about what a personal computer would be, but the technology wasn't quite like it wasn't. The technology wasn't small enough or powerful enough to build it properly. But he built a first prototype. All out of his brain, completely ridiculous person. Would have been very, very good at GTO poker, no question.
Probably, yeah. So if I conceptualize like flying cars and just drew a picture and said, yeah, but the technology doesn't exist today. Yeah. Could I get credit for many, many decades from now when it does exist? Will I get credit?
Yeah, I mean, I think some sort of background in logic and reason will probably help you get some credit. But yeah, why not?
I'm going to build a car with wings.
Build a horse with a jet engine, something like that, and see, and then maybe a car with wings. Exactly. Why not? Leo says Da Vinci gets credit for a helicopter. Yeah, and he didn't build a working one. So yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I like it. You are here for the. Sorry, go ahead.
Go on, no, do your thing. Do your thing.
I was just going to say that we're here for Magic Monday. Listen, I'm scared of silence.
I know.
I get scared of silence, so I was just filling in the emptiness.
When you're at home alone, do you find yourself just shouting things?
Oh, I talk to plants. We have lots of living things in the house.
How does everyone feel about winning some $109 tickets?
I feel amazing.
You feel amazing. You want to give them away.
I do.
I think we need to. These are huge tickets, as my colleague is pointing out for Play on 888 Poker. Literally $109 of tournament equity. You can turn this into hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands. You could be playing, for example, in this tournament next week if you win one and enter this. So exciting times for you all. We're going to play Loddon Thinks. But we're going to play What Does David Think and What Does Nick Think. All you have to do is guess what we think the answer is to the question that is asked. Do you have a question, David? Do you want to go first or second?
I have a question for you.
Brilliant. So we're going to play Nick Thinks. David's going to ask me a question. You in chat are going to guess what the answer is. You can guess in YouTube chat or Twitch chat, but you can only guess one time. One guess per player, or a line will boot you from the contest. 2 tickets, so the 2 closest unique values, if 2 people guess the same distance away from the answer, who was ever first will win. Lime runs the contest in chat. Listen to Lime always. What's the question, David?
I'm going to ask Nick this wonderful question. Everybody, remember, only one answer. Nick, I talk a lot. You probably speak, right? So, but that's not my question. My question for you is, how from in a 1 day span, how many words does the average person say in a day?
Is that a serious question?
It's a serious, wonderful question. So you know exactly how many words I say.
Poor Lime.
It's probably 20% of that. How many words does the average person say in a day?
Chat, how are you guessing with so much confidence? Is this like a known thing?
Yes, it's obvious. Well, listen, you know me. You've been around me. You know how many words I say in a day. So, just say, okay, it's probably Dave probably speaks 10 times as much as everybody else. So it's 1/10 of how many words I say. How many words does the average person say in a day?
I don't know. Is that an answer?
This is an amazing question. I think Loddon Thinks was built for questions like this. I Gregorius really likes this question. Thank you. Game Changer says, yes, it's known that it differs vastly for men and women. Okay, well, either way, I said the average person. So
the average man/woman.
Yeah, the average person. I mean,
I've got to think about this. I don't know. Let me just go through today. So I woke up. I said, morning, you okay? Would you like a tea? And she always wants a tea. It's like a running joke. Would you like a tea? So I'm up to 8.
You can, Nick, you can do this. You can do this in your head, Nick.
Right, really?
Yeah, you can do this in your head. Okay. I'll call the poker.
Okay.
But I like where you're going.
Okay. I mean, I don't talk very much. I know that's weird, but I don't actually talk very much. I'm a bad example.
No, I know. I was going to say, if it's just you and your wife at home, you'd be like, Nick's answer is going to be like, 42. Okay, we do that. Then I see her. I go, are you hungry? She'll say yes. What would you like to eat? Okay. Do you want me to cook or should we order in? And then good night, sweetheart.
Okay, an average person, like, is it a man or woman? I'm
so enjoying this. It's a great question. You're welcome. Hit this one out of the park, didn't I? 7 players remain in Magic Monday, everybody. I want to thank you all for joining us. We have 7 $109 tickets to give away. 5 during our show with these silly, inane games that are completely unfair. And then 2 at the end of our show with our Wheel of Justice spin. If you're wondering how to get part of that and how to win, well, you win Twitch points by watching these shows. All of our shows, not just ours. We've got the home game. We've got Blast Off, all sorts of shows on our Twitch channel. You earn Twitch points by watching. You redeem 4,000 Twitch points, and you get your name on the wheel. We spin that wheel. If we hit your name and you are in the chat, you get a $109 ticket. It's really fun. It's really easy. And it's really just totally free. So that'll be the end of our show. Last week we had 11 or 12 respins. It was ridiculous. And as I mentioned, a lot going on here on our Twitch channel. Leo Jakura is back in the host seat, or the hot seat, as I like to say, taking on all of you in the 888 Poker home game. That's tomorrow. Tune in, register, and try your best to claim his bounty. You can blast off on Wednesday, when it's Andre Cause against Leo Jakura. And it's the week of Leo. Leo's going to do a epic takeover on Thursday as he takes on the 888 Poker tables. All sorts of Leo Jakura goodness here on the 888 Twitch channel. And, of course, I know a lot of the 888 poker players, the ambassadors, and many of the bigwigs will be in Vegas, or if they're not there yet, they'll be there tomorrow or the next day. So make sure you follow 888 Poker socials, Instagram, and stuff like that, because there'll be some cool stories up there.
Yeah, I saw that Aaron Brony cashed a WCP event. And I saw that Vivi finished 100th in the PLO championship, which she's finished 11th in before, I think. And she cashed as well.
She's good.
Yeah, they're both good at poker. That's definitely, I'm confident in that opinion. But hopefully one of our horses will run deep in the big one. That would be really fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what we should do for fun, Nick? We can even put it on social. Once we find out who's playing in the main event, you can take one 888 stream team member or ambassador. I'll take another one, and we can do a last longer.
Okay.
Last longer challenge.
Okay. I'm into it.
Okay. Jack 10 with just Jack high. Ace 6. Both players missed their draws. The 7, by the way, would have been quite interesting. It did not come, though. And Ace high is going to win it.
Yeah, Pash stays our chip leader. Behind them, it's very even. Look at this. Crazy. All 6 players between 10 and 20 big blinds. 5 of them between 15 and 20 big blinds. So you got one guy or girl, Pash, out in front, and then it's a bit of a bun fight after that.
Contest is closed, by the way.
A couple of amazing achievements of the World Series of Poker in the last few days, by the way. Michael Mizrachi winning his 4th PPC, which is ridiculous.
I actually had an argument. So there's 2 players in particular. I always like to bring up the Hall of Fame because, hey, it's, whatever you think about it, it's the Poker Hall of Fame, and it should be, I feel like it's important. I think I do, but I think the system for getting in is really flawed. I think that European players are unfortunately ridiculously overlooked. And with that, I will bring up 2 players that I think need to get in. And there's a few others, but I think the grinder, I think Michael Mizrachi now almost has to get in. Look at this.
All in the cool, yep. David.
King Jack versus 9-8. Oh, no.
Bink,
exactly. The straight, neither player with a heart in their hand. And look at this, everything going bluff 420's way. It's Ant Rage, who I imagine a little ant being in rage right now. They are out. They lost the Ace Queen to Ace King earlier.
Can we just put a pin in the Hall of Fame discussion? Because
yes, please.
With Michael Mizrachi, and then the other amazing achievement was by, let me get her name right, Sheena Okamoto, who won the Ladies' Championship back-to-back. Not only that, this is absolutely ridiculous. A field of over 1,000. The last 3 years, she's gone second, first, and first. That might be the most incredible achievement in the World Series of Poker, full stop. That's crazy. It's
just stupid. It's just so dumb. Ace Jack versus 10s. A king? No. That is, hold on. Oh, my gosh, what a run out here. But the 10s full of queens, a full double up, and another elimination. Stanimal, 14 gone.
Wow, we're losing players quickly.
Yeah, we lost Ant Rage in 7th, and we lose Stanimal in 6th. Ant Rage, by the way, took home about $1,200. Stanimal will take home a little bit over $2,000 when it's all said and done. Yeah, no, it's just, she could literally write a book on how to crush the ladies event. And nobody could say anything. Everybody would be like, yeah, obvious. Like, go, show me.
So here's an interesting question. let's say there are 1,000 runners for easy maths. What odds would you give her next year if you were making a book? What odds would you give on her winning next year?
On
Chat,
winning, right?
Chat.
It's like,
Well, not for a prize. Chat. What odds would you give Okamoto of winning the bracelet next year if there's 1,000 runners? She's
like
gone second, first, and first the last 3 years.
I mean, let's say you work for William Hill, right?
Yeah.
And you are setting up a line, right? It's a legal book. You're setting up a line. What would be the line?
Yeah.
Like, would you say like 3.5 to 1?
That's ridiculous, isn't it? It's impossible.
It's so dumb. 5 to 1?
It's so impossible to go second, first, and first in 1,000+ tournaments. That is impossible.
I would imagine
the grind's achievement is amazing, but it's against 80 players.
Right. They had 107 this year, but yes, your point well said. Your point is same difference. Flush draw, by the way, versus an ace. Oh, like ridiculous. Against that field to win that event 4 times is just crazy. Flush draw here versus the ace.
Yeah, interesting hand.
Yeah, and I think love to win just kind of at this point. Okay, can I see a river for cheap, please? They're going to put a small bet out there. Pash not going to go anywhere. Might even raise. And this is blind on blind. You've got a good ace. They're just going to call. Rivers are blank, and what does love to win do now? Nearly 12 big blinds in the pot. They've got 13 behind. Do they move all in and try to put max pressure?
Well, it's the only way they can possibly win the pot. They don't know Pash's card, but Pash at this point either has to have a bigger one pair hand, or they have to have a draw of some kind. And Love to Win decides to give up.
Quantum Criminal is giving us 30 to 1. Okay, can I put a tenner on that?
Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? Are you trying to decide the right price, or are you trying to decide the price that gets the split of action? I don't know. But just like mathematically, her chances can only be like, I don't know. What's her ROI? Like objectively, it can't be her results. Her results are obviously insanely variance driven.
Yeah, and listen, as inconceivable as it is not beyond comprehension to kind of like just go. They ran hot in that event. They probably have a particular skill set to do very well against some good, but also some very inexperienced players.
Yeah, both things will be true at the same time, right? She'll have a very big edge, but she'll also have run hot because you have to. You can't not run hot.
I mean, I imagine that her ROI is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 800%. And the true chance of her winning the event next year, probably about 11%, which is just insane. No,
it's not that high, but it is incredible.
Can't be.
It's incredible. So both those things, both her and Grinder, is just absolutely remarkable. And I'm also really glad they happened because there's like them and Benny Glazer and a couple of other things, some really cool stuff from the series this year. And so we don't have to talk about people that talk too much or stupid heads up stuff. We can actually talk about the poker, which I think is
right.
Cool.
Right. The Benny Glazer was the other part of the Hall of Fame competition I wanted to have, which was, I feel like the European side of poker has been largely overlooked and ignored far too long. And Benny is kind of just like screaming loudly, like, hey, if this guy doesn't get in, the whole thing's a farce.
Hey, I'm freaking incredible at poker.
I mean, we're talking about one of the most successful online players of all time, now being also one of the most successful live players of all time. He has 8 bracelets at 37 years old. He's really only been playing the game for about a decade now. Like he didn't even start playing at like 21, 22. I mean, he was playing, but he was more of a journalist of anything and a musician.
Yeah, that's my problem with the Hall of Fame. It's too orientated towards famous poker players, and that is poker players that have done well live as over online. So it's an interesting debate. Anyway, what is not up for debate is that 2 people have won $109 tickets, David Tomlin, and they want to know who they are.
Ooh, I want to know who they are too. So I
Yeah.
asked you a question, Nick, and I asked
Yeah.
you, how many words does the average person say in a day? What's your answer, and
Yeah.
how'd you come up with that?
I guessed. So I had nothing to go on. So you're awake for like 16 hours, but obviously you're not talking for much of it, are you? Not really.
I am.
So I did 400 words an hour, and I have absolutely no idea if that
400 words
is.
an hour. Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like just seems like so many words.
Does it?
Feels like a lot to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
But
Hey,
like a sentence is going to be like 20 words, I thought. So you're going to get. Anyway, the answer, based on science, David, is 6,600 words.
well, listen, it sounded like a lot to me, but it's exactly the right answer. It's amazing. You've done it again. You've nailed it. Everybody, if you've said 6,600 or around there, you might have won. If your name is Randy Tegrity, you said 6,500.
Well done,
Congratulations, Randy. You just won a $109 ticket. And Jacome 999 said 6,789. Wow, very close. Jacome 999, you have just won a $109 ticket. Congratulations to you both. Make sure your whispers are not set to private so the amazing Lime Ricky can get you your ticket. That's very cool stuff. By the way, for the record, I did Google this because I was curious. Said different stories here. One person, one thing says.
I was just looking. There's different accounts, right?
I do like this one though. Working males average 2,000 to 3,000 words. Females 10,000 to 20,000. However, both average about 500 to 700 words of actual value. So there's just thousands of words of just drivel.
Unbelievably sexist. So Gemini AI says gender differences are not supported by research. The average number of words spoken per day is 16,000.
16,000.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 words an hour, approximately.
That's crazy.
Like, people, shut up, stop talking.
Well, you can talk. You're probably like 50K or something. You're probably like 150K when you do a World Series of Poker stream.
I'm getting paid to talk.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true.
None of you are. Stop talking so much. No, that's amazing, though. 16,000.
Yeah. I tried to go through my day, but I stopped counting. It was too many.
Hey, somebody, as an experiment, somebody in the chat, do me a favor. This week, from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed, walk around with a clicker. You know those little clickers?
Yeah.
Walk around the clicker and keep count of how many words. I know we can do it with steps now. Clearly, you can do it with words. Count how many words you say in a day. Let's see. Queen high flop. Love to win. Second to the bottom in chips. Looking like they will likely win this one, though. Bougie says, in Boston, that's a clicker. A clicker. Okay. You can get your clicker. That works, too. Turns a heart, and that's an interesting one as well, because JSJ, with a straight draw and a flush draw, love to win as a flush draw as well. But as we can see, a heart would be dangerous for them.
Yeah, weird situation for these players because 4 of them have very similar stacks. So you don't know how much you want to commit. Because obviously the gap between 4th and 5th isn't that big, but the gap between 5th and 2nd is.
There's a call. Board pairs. And love to win does hold. And now you've got to imagine JSJ is going to fire at this. I mean, they've got the 5, they got the king of hearts, they've got nothing, and of course, as I say it, they check. Love to win checks it back, wins that one, and we continue on. Free roll, by the way, has begun. If you are not in there, what are you doing? Get in there. It's free money, everybody. Password is $500
to pay for. Sorry.
No, password is 888-FTFR. 888-FTFR.
And we've got an amazing track record in this free roll recently. We've been crushing it as a community. It's been amazing.
Flush draw versus the sixes. Pash actually with a lot of equity. They might not know it, but they would win this with an 8, a 10, or a spade. Got a pair of threes now. And there's a spade.
Pash can definitely attack if they want, but now they've hit, it doesn't matter, does it? But they could have definitely been aggressive there. But life is good. Life is good when you're the chip leader and you hit flushes. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you're like, I've got chips. I am prepared to bluff. Well, I guess I don't need to. That's even better.
Exactly.
We've only given away 2 $109 tickets, so plenty of giveaways still to come. Again, our chip leader, Pash. This is just their first final table of the year. They did final table something in October of last year. That was the PKO Rumble. Always fun when you look at these players and you see what the average stake, what tournament they normally play. For example, Pash, their average stake normally about $10.
Yeah, and they're staying aggressive here. And, you know, sometimes if you're not used to playing a big tournament, there's $8,000 up top here. And fifth place is only good for 1,900 of that. So there is some pressure on our players.
Bluffing 420 accomplished what is probably pretty difficult to do. They made the final table of this event. Now, this event had nearly 1,000 runners, and they made the final table without actually eliminating anybody. Which I think, if you kind of think about it, it does tell you a lot about tournament poker. A lot of times we think that we have to be really aggressive and we've got to push the envelope and we've got to eliminate our opponents and stuff. And obviously that's certainly the case in a bounty event where you want to win because half the prize pool's in that. But as Bluffing 420 has pointed out, showed here and illustrated, sometimes you can just survive.
Yeah, I do think that good tournament players just have the ability to adapt to a crazy amount, much more than cash game players. Cash game players are very often playing the same stack depth. But if you're going to be good at tournaments, you've got to be able to adjust to, you know, the table dynamics, but also not only your stack size, but the stack size of your opponents, stack size of players left to act. It does require a lot more flexibility than cash.
Yeah, I could certainly, that's certainly the case. Leo Gygic, by the way, says, I made it to 74th in this event with no eliminations, didn't win one bounty, was finally eliminated trying to get my first bounty. Congratulations, and, well, good job, made some money at least. All in and a call. King 10 versus Jack 8. There's an 8. River. Not going to get any help, but it's a full house. And Zipper is out. He's zippered.
The short stacks have run horrible in the all-ins so far.
Yeah, Pash now back up to 61 big blinds. Takes home an extra $46. Zipper, by the way, talking about winning bounties, Zipper had locked up $4,600 in bounties and then just added $1,975. So all in, they ended up taking home about $6,600. Not bad for fifth place. Nick, I feel like we're very cognizant of how many words we're using now.
Yes.
Just less.
And you've used the word cognizant, which is the best word you've ever used. So you're clearly thinking hard about them at the moment.
Well, I wasted at least 400 completely drivel words earlier on when I tried to tell a story. So
That's true. You used up some of your budget, some of your whatever it was, a few thousand budget on that bad boy.
Yeah, I do tell my kid that sometimes when he just won't stop talking. I'll be like, listen, buddy, you only get so many words in your life. You don't want to waste them. 4 players remain. Magic Monday. Nick Wealthall, David Zuckman, calling the action. Thank you for joining us.
I've got a little surprise for you, David.
Ooh, I love surprises.
We're going to do a keyword giveaway before the first break.
Are we sure that's okay?
I'm sure it's okay. Very different to the last couple of weeks. We've got a Fast and Furious final table this week.
What do you do if you're bluffing here? You do not call. Wow. King 10 in the muck.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? That's the kind of quintessential. There's only one shorter stack, so ICM's not that huge a deal, and your King 10 is ahead of Pash's range, right? They're shoving everything.
All in the call here. Call. Oh, a diamond or a queen. 3 of clubs, and ace king survives.
Stack 1-1, an all-in stack 1-1.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen very much.
So you mentioned keyword giveaway.
We're going to do one.
Let's do it.
Easiest way to win a ticket or any prize, not just on this show, but probably in all of the known world. You just type in one word when it's been revealed to you. That's it. Very, very easy. You must be on Twitch, so jump over from YouTube to 88 Poker TV if you're watching on there, because it won't work on YouTube. Software-driven contest. The software will pick a winner. The keyword has been selected by Lime. Lime, is the keyword ready? The keyword is ready. In honor of the greatest nation in North America's day tomorrow, the keyword is Canada. Canada.
Yes, Canada. It is Canada. Canada Day tomorrow.
Canada Day tomorrow. Lime told me to say that other bit. I like all the countries in North America. All both of them.
Listen, I love Canada. I feel like sometimes I feel Canadian.
There you go. And we have a lot of Canadian friends in chat.
Ooh, we got a raise. We got an all-in. And I'm not sure if you want to call off this much.
Yeah, this is a big shove.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine JSJ really getting out of line here. Nope. And nice fold. Shows the ace. Up to 26 big blinds. Could get an all-in the call here, though. Get your Canadas in the chat. There's a raise. Whoa. Wow, I'm I don't know why I'm surprised. I've been doing this long enough that I should no longer be surprised. But I'm just like, wow. I mean, ace 9, you're 4-handed. The button opened. Ace 9's really good hand, isn't it?
Yeah. Really good hand. JSJ up into second place.
Love to win on the button with King 9. Going to raise it up. Posh gets out of the way. See what bluffing wants to do with ace 3 offsuit. I think shoving here is perfectly fine. You've got enough chips to have fold equity. I like it. You're going to get hands like this, just fold. And ace 3 is just such a tough hand to play out of position. They take it down.
Yeah, bluffing 420s really had a final table full of action. Feels like they've been in a lot of pots. This one might be a problem. Oh, it is going to be a problem.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just a situation. I mean, it's small blind, big blind. You pick up an ace, you're going to go with it. Look at this flop.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Bluffing 420 has been running absolutely pure. And to make it worse, JSJ hits a jack on the river, but it is irrelevant. They hit their set. It's still no good. And, yep, kind of a hand that plays itself. I mean, it folds to you in the small blind. You have an ace. You're like, okay. I can get all my chips in, and your opponent happens to pick up jacks, and you flop the wheel. Wow.
Yeah, quite a big shove, but I like it because you're still under 20 big blinds, and ace deuce off is just horrible to play. The only other play they could have considered is they could have limped and possibly shoved over a raise, but playing that out of position was pretty crappy, and it was just a cooler after that. But it's given bluffing 39 big blinds.
Yeah, they are neck and neck here, just 10 big blinds behind the leader. We're going to get an all-in in the call here, I imagine. JSJ on 9 big blinds. Posh in the big blind with ace-10. We could be three-handed. There's the raise. Posh moves all in. There's the call. King, queen, ace-10. There's an ace. Running queens. Nope, not going to happen. And JSJ played very well, is out in fourth. JSJ came into the final table as our chip leader. They will exit in fourth place, courtesy of the bounties. They'll take home about $3,600.
So much variance at the end of these tournaments. JSJ was sitting in second place, ran jacks into ace little and lost, and then ran king queen into an ace when they had the button. So sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
It's why I always say, Nick, I just don't understand why they don't make deals.
You do always say that.
Yeah.
You do love a deal. We're about to give away a $109 ticket for all you Canada typers in the chat. Good luck, everybody. One person's about to win a big boy ticket, and that person is...
it's
Parabellum.
Canada. What?
Parabellum, friend of the show. You've won a $109 ticket. Well played.
This is so rigged.
It's not rigged, David.
Oh.
Don't say it's rigged. They get on that. Conspiracy bus at the drop of a hat.
Oh, Canada.
Well done, Canada, on all your things, and well done, Parabellum. But if you haven't won a ticket yet, don't despair. We've got a fast final table, so the next giveaway is not far away. The other side of the break, we'll give away 2 more $109 tickets for Player 888. Huge tickets that you could turn into hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars if you play your cards right.
Look at that little pun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nick, listen, one of your best friends, Victor, at your wedding, was originally born in Canada. Not originally born in Canada. She was just born in Canada.
She was.
And of course, Lime Ricky, our favorite moderator, also Canadian.
Also Canadian,
so
yes.
Clearly you know a lot about Canada. I'm going to just put you on the spot. Give me 3 things that are distinctly Canadian.
Maple syrup.
Boom.
You're welcome. Mooses.
Yes, Canadian moose.
And being kind to strangers.
Yes, they're so sorry. It's lovely.
There we are. Those are my 3.
They're so stupidly polite. It's wonderful.
Line, there are not Canadian moose in other countries, except for the ones that fly south for the winter, the rich ones. They're in other countries.
Yeah. Those are Canadian moose still. They just happen to be somewhere else for a little bit.
Right, exactly. So you can mistake them for like a Bahamian moose, for example.
We're getting some other suggestions. Happy Ray with the A. Run Gooder, the Maple Leaf. Hamaleon Hockey. We've got Poutine. Ooh, Poutine is lovely. Pair of sixes
you like
versus
that.
straight draw. I do like Poutine.
Mounties. Yes. Very Canadian. What's thruples?
Or Thruppies. I don't know.
Something rude, probably. Something rude to trick us and make us say it out loud.
Yeah, we both fell for it.
Damn it.
Ugh.
Pash takes one down. Them and bluffing are the big stacks.
Now, last week, it looked like we were going to go an entire hour without losing any player. This week, we've lost 5 already.
We went 50-something minutes, didn't we, without losing anybody?
Final table says lakes. Now, we have lakes here in the States as well. In fact, Minnesota is the land of Great Lakes, I think it's called. Or land of 10,000 lakes.
Where are the getting fingered lakes? The Finger Lakes. The Finger Lakes. Sorry. Where are they?
They are also in the States.
They're in the States.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know geography really. So.
Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world. Is that true? I didn't know that.
Is that true?
Minnesota has like 30,000 lakes by itself. So Minnesota's just south. So maybe
isn't because obviously the maps that you see are all like slightly distorted for true size, aren't they? Isn't Canada absolutely enormous in reality? Like, isn't it bigger than it appears on traditional maps?
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, I know that United States, has been made significantly larger on the maps than it actually is.
Yeah,
when you compare it to other countries. Like Brazil is way, way bigger than it looks on a map.
Okay. Lime says that Canada is geographically the second largest country in the world. So come for the poker and the giveaways. Stay for some fact bombs.
Look at this. Today you've learned, folks. You've learned things about Canada. You've learned the average person says 16,000 a day. And you'll learn more in about 6 minutes when we come back from break. Snap called by worse.
25 big blinds.
Yeah. No gamble, no future.
What do you want to do here if you're Guerrero? Like, literally, what do you want to do? You're third in chips. What do you want to, or ish, something like that. I don't know the complete runouts. What do you want to do with ace queen? Cool. And?
Hope you hit.
Hope you hit. And? You're stacking off on a queen? Is that what you're doing?
You might, yeah.
But then, your words, it's an absolute catastrophe to go broke. It's tens of thousands of euros. Does Guerrero want to hit a queen here? That's my question to you.
He'd like to hit 3 clubs.
3 clubs or top 2 or something. Then he might feel all right.
Oh, my. What do you do here?
Wow, Panto bet in the dark.
What?
He bet in the dark. He's done exactly what I said. He doesn't need to think.
Okay, everybody. We've got giveaways, we've got free rolls, but this might, even with this, despite that.
This might be over in 2 hours.
No, but it might be the best final table ever.
It could be a lot of fun. So here is exactly the situation I described. This is exactly the situation.
Exactly.
He's hit his hand. Now what do you want to do?
Well, especially the fact that Panto bet blind.
What do you want to do, though? You tell me. You're in his shoes. What are you doing? You're calling to leave yourself $1 million?
I'm crying.
You're crying. It's absolutely horrible.
I mean, you don't give him a jack, obviously. He bet blind. How could he have a jack?
Can't give him a jack. So you're stacking off with like 6 stacks shorter than you?
I think Guerrero might just stack off here.
Well, he's committed now. He can't fold now, can he?
Well, I mean, can
he?
Listen, we've seen crazy things.
I suppose he can. He's got 1.1. I suppose he can.
Yeah, but what does he do on like the deuce of diamonds?
By the way, should we just feel sad for Guerrero? This is such a horrible
terrible.
cooler. What a horrible cooler.
Panto, by the way, if he holds here, will end up having half the chips in play. Oh my, the chips are going in.
Check.
Did he check? No, he moved all in.
He moved all in.
Okay, Guerrero calls. Guerrero needs a club or a queen. Pot is 4.5 million. Guerrero came in third in chips, I believe. If he gets knocked out in ninth, this will be awful for him. Looking for a club or a queen. The outs are on the top of your screen. Panto standing up.
Look at him, the Godfather.
It's a jack. He makes quads.
He loves it.
Garcia with ace kings all in. Panto's got jacks. We got to flip.
Oh wow.
I like the jacks.
Panto could obliterate the final table more.
I like the jacks. I'm going with jacks.
Yeah,
you can have the ace king.
No thanks.
What? I've been doing this all weekend. What do you mean?
Wow. We could be four-handed.
By the way, and one of the king is dead. Panto looking to make the double elimination here. Can you knock out both Garcia and Peluso? If the jacks hold, by the way, it'll be Peluso who finishes higher. Oh, and there's a set. There's 3 queens left in the deck.
I just want to be Panto. How do I make that happen in my life?
Here's the river at 3.6 million in the pot.
To be four-handed.
They need a queen. It's not the queen, it's the 8 of hearts and top set for Panto.
Amazing. What a run.
You might think that Vecchiana has just gone to dinner.
Yeah. He just hasn't been part of this.
Which, by the way, if you're Vecchiana, you're kind of loving
He's going to be part of it now.
He's probably going to be part of this one. But if you're Vecchiana, he's playing the short stack perfectly. Let you two get involved in every single pot. Maybe something happens and I can just squirt my way into second and then get lucky. He's got 30 big blinds, and he's watching those two battle. Panto quickly calls. He does use his big chips when he has them. By the way, this pot's 3.1 million.
Yeah. And Panto hasn't put tons of thought into it yet. See, he must have... Panto has something here. He doesn't have garbage.
He doesn't do this with nothing. But he's very unlikely to have the best hand right now. I think it's very safe to see that Vecchiano's got the best hand. What's the bet size? You want to keep him around. What are you going, 950? 950 and then get the rest in on the turn?
I mean, if he's got a pair, he's not folding. So
that's the whole point, right?
If he doesn't have a pair.
Well, I'm saying if he has king queen here, he might call like 900.
No, he's gone my route. Okay,
all
that's,
in.
Okay, that's tilt. Okay, that's tilt.
I don't know if it's tilt. Oh well, maybe, I don't know.
It's pretty tilty. He got 3-bet with 5-3.
I just think he likes to gamble.
Yeah. Maybe he just likes to gamble.
Probably how he has all the chips in the first place. He's looking for running hearts, a 5 or a 3. Vecchiana trying to survive here, and he will. Ace on the turn, and that is it. Vecchiana, our new chip leader. Panto with Jack 7 suited. That much.
Vecchiana probably has ace jack here.
King queen.
King queen, same thing.
I think a fairly trivial all in. I suppose you could just call.
Yeah, I think he's going to want to call because I think he thinks.
No, I like the all in. I really like this.
Oh wow!
You get called by worse. And look at that. He gets snap called by worse.
25 big blinds.
Yeah. I'm not raising folding Jack 7. Come on.
Of course. No, of course.
You kidding me? No gamble, no future. By the way, there's 8.6 million in this. We could be
heads up. Yeah.
We could be, or we're right back to a kind of an even slate between these three players.
Andy Exxon says he gave.
Let's go. We are back. That's right. Magic Monday is back. 3 players remain, but lots of giveaways still remain. Plus a free roll. Registration is still open on that one. $500 in cold hard cash being given away. Password is 888-FTFR. 888-FTFR. Registration closing in about 5 minutes. So get in on the action over there. We have still 2 $109 tickets to give away. We'll do that with our silly games. And then, of course, 2 more at the end of our show through the Wheel of Justice. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman calling the action. And we are going to be here until we crown a champion.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be too long, especially if Pash keeps playing like this. They've been very aggressive for the last few orbits. Rightly so. They got the chip lead, short-handed. Why not put the pressure on?
Yeah, for sure. Will you let me know when we'll play Lawton Thinks then, Mr. Mayor?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you. Yeah.
You just do it, yeah. Apparently, Ken Lena says Manitoba has 10 times more lakes than Minnesota. Wow, that's a lot of lakes.
Manitoba, you cheeky fellow.
Wait, is Manitoba just all water then? I mean, that would be like 300,000 lakes.
Where do the moose stand?
They're just in the water all the time. Are these water moose?
Water moose, yeah. Aqua moose.
That's crazy. Did Pocket 3...
Many geographical facts here to highlight the final table of the 100k Mystery Bounty main event.
And listen, we still have one more question. Nick's got to ask me a question. It will almost definitely have something to do with geographic something.
It won't.
No? Okay. Well, the difference between difference between second and third, $1,700. And you can see kind of bluffing, just staying out of it, waiting for Love to win, either double up or get eliminated.
Yeah, I wonder if they shove this. They're thinking about it. They do not. Bluffing, you're absolutely right. Not bothering contesting marginal pots at the moment.
No, you can see. You're talking about $1,700. I mean, that's 17 buy-ins. I certainly understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And Love to win that. And the 5 big blinds. Posh has just had a pretty easy ride at this final table. And it just continues to roll now at the 68 big blinds.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's just like, okay, I need a big hand. Come on, big hand. And you pick up ace queen. You're like, yes, this is great. Nothing there for the ace queen. Oh, some chop outs. Could it happen? No, the 9 of hearts on the river, and Posh with another elimination. Love to win is going to have to love to come in third place today.
They still win. Profit.
And not just a little, a lot, by the way. Love to win with their bounties and third place money has made about $5,500. Well done, them. Heads up for the bracelet.
Worth playing. Heads up, Pasha's got a pretty big chip advantage here. 2.5 to 1 chip advantage. Nick, bluffing 420 has been hard to kill.
Nick, I just said it's heads up for the bracelet, so you are now contractually obligated to send the winner a bracelet.
No, that's fair. Look at this flop. That's a comedy flop. Heads up. How is that possible?
Oh, the chip's going in here. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, wow. Well,
what a turn card.
Yeah, it could easily be a double up for bluffing.
Probably should be, right? I mean,
it's just how do they get the money in? Because there's only 4 big blinds in the middle.
You bet.
It's a good start.
There's a bet. There's a call. And now's a bigger bet. A large bet, like 13 big blinds.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of missed draws, missed straight draws, missed flush draws.
Absolutely.
Like you can definitely try and make it look bluffy here.
Right.
They go pretty big. They get insta-called. And we got a brand new match. Look at this. 60 plays, 40 basically. So much closer now. And that reminds me, David. We've got 2 more tickets to give away. Should we do that?
Well, I mean, again, you're the mayor. I'm only here to be at your service. You let me know when.
By the powers vested in me. Yeah, we're giving away 2 $109 tickets. We're going to play What Does David Think? You have to guess what David thinks, not what's on the internet, not that this is on the internet. And this is going to be about Wimbledon. Wimbledon started today. I love Wimbledon, the tennis tournament. It's a constant reduction in my income production during this time of year. My question for you, David, is very simple. Don't worry, it's very simple.
Strawberries and cream.
And it's a fast question, so get ready, chat. You only get 1 guess per player. How many sets of tennis will I watch in Wimbledon fortnight? How many sets of tennis will I, Nick Wealthall, watch in Wimbledon fortnight? How many sets of tennis? It's not 0. I'll give you a free piece of information. How many sets of tennis will I watch in Wimbledon fortnight? 1 guess per player. Big prizes for a stupid question. 2 $109 tickets up for grabs based on what David thinks. Somebody's just guessed 8,117. I'm going to be honest with you, David. Bit of free help. It's less than that.
I'm going to go on a limb and say you're going to watch more tennis than I would watch. But since I know you love tennis.
I like tennis.
I know you love tennis. I like tennis too. I actually like Wimbledon, particularly Wimbledon. I like playing tennis a lot more than I like watching tennis these days.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, I love playing it. I think playing it is brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great game to play.
The one thing with tennis that can be annoying is it's one of those games where you need to play against somebody who's really just right at your skill level. It's almost like playing on chess.com. That's perfect because it pits me against somebody who's at my level.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I feel like tennis is one of those really big problems because it's like if you play against somebody who's worse than you, it's just terrible. And vice versa for them, obviously, if you're worse than them.
Yep, I think that's a good point.
Anyway.
We don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about you guessing how many sets of tennis David thinks I will watch this Wimbledon as we see our 2 players battle for the money. This could be a good heads-up battle. They've got lots of chips. They
do, for sure. And look at this. Bluffing, who, as you mentioned, part of that the Stream Team contest, one of the fan favorites, putting on a show here. Could they end up winning this? It is virtually even at the end of this hand. It should be right around 50 big blinds each, give or take. I'm raising this bet, by the way. The small little blocker bet, no way, I'm raising it. And no, love the play from Posh.
Yeah, there's Pash. Never misses an opportunity to be aggressive. Love that.
Yep. Do you imagine Djokovic thinks the same thing? Like, yeah, I just wish I could play against players who are like me. You just can't find anybody.
Definitely for a few years, that was true.
And look at this. 49 big blinds to 49 big blinds. And Bluffing has said, hey, let's make a deal.
Well, they've battled through an awful lot of players and played a lot of poker to get to a point where they're dead even, like nearly 1,000 players. So chopping up some of this $2,000 for first and second is definitely an option. But it takes 2 to deal.
Yeah, it's an option if you're weak. No. 50 big blinds, play poker.
If you're from communist Russia. Well,
Pash
I was just going to say Pash doesn't feel like a deal person. They've been pretty fearless and aggressive, and so we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's at this particular blind level. Ooh, they are. Hold on a second.
Okay. I'm
the
surprised.
handshakes. We're gonna pause for a second. Do you have deal making music ready?
Do 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 do.
That's Jeopardy.
Do 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 do. It's run out. They haven't made a deal. The music's run out, David. Quick, get the siren or something.
Yeah, and we now owe Jeopardy copyright infringement issues.
I mean, I was so far off the melody. I think it's fine.
Green, they made a deal.
We've got a deal. Lovely.
Hey.
Everyone's happy.
GG, good game. They've made a deal. They're going to play for, I guess, a little bit more.
I think it's a sort of fixed percentage, isn't it? Isn't it like 20%
10%?
of the 10%? Is it? Okay. Most of the money they'll have now chopped up. So
Right.
that's nice.
It's very friendly. So we'll assume there's $14,200 between first and second place. We'll assume, because they were so close, that it's about $7,000 each. Maybe they're playing for $500 or something like that. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got more giveaways, folks. I believe the contest is closed, everybody.
Okay, so we're not having one of those heads up deals where they just go completely wild and throw the chips in. They're still playing for the title and the last bit of money.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're competitive. You want to win the title, obviously. And even if there's just like $400 in there, that's still 4 buy-ins. I mean, I always marvel when players make a deal and they just like, oh, whatever, let's just go. And I'm like, oh, you don't care about the last $2,000 in there?
Yeah, for sure. Plus, winning feels good, right? Like, it's cool to say you won the tournament as opposed to you chopped the money and finished second. Winning
Right.
is cool.
I like winning.
Exactly. Bluff on the end here from Pash. Not really repping very much, but they don't really have to rep very much if their opponent doesn't have too much. Now, Bluffing is considering here with just a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and they do let it go. I think it was a little bit suspicious. They're just looking at it going, oh, what story are you telling me here? And you can see Bluffing now thinking, darn it. I think I had you.
I think, gosh darn it.
Dang it.
Dang it, I hate that.
What a performance by the way. Bluffing 420, worth mentioning, as they are going for the title here, and they've already chopped this up. They came into this final table 8th in chips.
Right, yeah.
They have
yeah.
like 7 big blinds.
Yeah, great climb up the ladders to be here.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Bluffing 420 has won a tournament. It was 3 days ago.
Yeah, they're super hot.
3 days ago, they won the PKO Rumble 109. Battle of the Aces. Both players might be content to get the showdown with this one. And the Ace 10 is going to win it. Posh with a slight chip advantage. What's up, Crazy Scotsman? Hello.
Anyone doing well in the free roll? We can't be too far off the money as we come to the end of our final table.
No, this guy.
Maybe time to shout you out. Maybe time if you are doing well.
If you did not, if you've been knocked out or somehow you forgot to register, don't worry about it. There'll be another free roll next week.
Could still be a long heads-up battle. They've got plenty of chips here for heads-up.
Yeah, and they are playing it, dare I say, actually pretty cautiously considering they've made a deal.
Considering they've made a deal, yeah. JS Moore 250th in the free roll. Player Quilla 42nd. It's the Pits 268th. Well done. Keep at it.
Leo Gygek was out in the very first hand. See, Leo Gygek, that is what I call an efficient use of your time.
Big stack or I'm going home. That's my strategy.
Dare I say this heads-up match has gotten tighter since they've gotten heads-up, since they've been deal.
Yeah. It's quite weird, isn't it? I was just thinking that. This is like really tight considering they've shared like 80, 90% of the money, whatever it is.
I'm always surprised when I see players make a deal and then just kind of gamble it up. Because I'm like, don't you want to win? You still want to win. But usually you expect players to play a little bit looser. And it's been kind of the opposite. But you could get action here, though. Oh, hello. You can get a lot of action on this one. Trip 5 versus a king.
Yeah, that's a horrible card for bluffing because top pair is so strong heads up.
Yeah, I mean, you still beat 7-8, 7-4. You beat a lot of kings.
A lot of kings,
and this is a big bet from bluffing.
Probably committal.
There's the all-in.
So tough at bluffing. Pash is only repping a 5 here. They do call and they do lose.
Yeah, that is it for it. The 5 on the turn. The big bet, the all-in from Posh. And bluffing 420 about to set up for second place. Posh is our winner. And being the winner, get a little bit extra money, plus the last 2 bounties. You cannot chop up these bounties, so Posh will get these last 2 bounties. Another $93 added on. Bluffing, by the way, did not win any bounties, but does take home second place money, somewhere probably around $7,000. Posh, who won a tournament back in October, wins another one here with the bounties and the first place money, wins himself somewhere in the neighborhood of about $8,000. So well done to both those players. Congratulations to Posh, our winner.
Well done to them. Good intel from Final Table who says it's Pasha, short for Pavel. There you go. They are our winner. And they look like our winner from some distance out. Very aggressive at the Final Table. Well played to them. There are more winners, though, David Tuckman.
I love
more
that.
More winners. All of our chat are winners, but actually 2 of them are actual winners of $109 tickets. I asked you, how many sets of tennis will I watch at this year's Wimbledon, or as you Americans say it, Wimbledon? Wimbledon. How many sets will I watch?
Well, I added it up and I figured, okay, you're going to be watching like the semifinals and you're going to watch the finals. And then you probably got a couple of favorites that you'll watch here and there. And then if you find out that there's like a good 5-set match, you'll turn it on to watch the 5th set.
Exactly.
Right. You're not going to watch all 5 sets of that, though, but you're like, oh, wait a second, I've got to watch this. And all in, when it's all said and done, I counted that you will watch 51 sets.
51 sets, an uncanny description of what my viewing habits will actually be. Well done, you. And also the correct answer. 51 sets is what you think the answer is.
Hit it out of the park again.
Exactly. Well played if you got close to 51. Honourable mention to Moss Shark, who was just 2 away, but a little bit slower than our 2-away winner, Doc Matouche. The ticket haul grows for Doc Matouche, another win. And our best guess of this one. Evercito Castro said 52, just one away. Doc Matouche and Evercito Castro. You win $109 tickets. Congratulations. Make sure your whispers are open. Lime Ricky will give you all the deets. If you didn't win this week, don't worry. There's another Magic Monday, literally a week away, with more big boy ticket giveaways.
Yep, each and every Monday.
Yeah, each and every Monday.
We do
every
this.
time. Every time.
And somehow they just give us more tickets to give away. So just come back next Monday.
Absolutely. What have we got left to do, David? There must be something.
Yeah, you see that little spinny thing? We're going to spin it. It's the Wheel of Justice. It's the greatest content there is everywhere, anywhere. And it's right here for you folks. It's amazing. If you're wondering how to get involved in this, it's 4,000 Twitch points. Can't do it now, but you can get in for next week. We're going to give away 2 $109 tickets. Are you ready?
Ready.
Spin the wheel.
Here she goes. The Wheel of Justice. So cool because she only ever lands on people that have been good during the week. Sirened in by David Tushman is DF906, our first winner. You must be in chat to claim your prize, DF906. Are you in chat? And are you claiming your prize? Yeah, straight off.
Boom, boom. Hoo-hoo.
Well played to you. $109 ticket is
You're
yours.
welcome.
One left to give away tonight. Here we go. Respin the wheel of Poker Justice. See how fast the bastard turns. Somebody's been good this week, and that person is
you.
Play with it. Play with heart. Play with heart. Play with ear art. Are you here? Play with ear art.
Oh, yes!
Play with heart. Well done. Unlucky player Quilla missed by 1, but Play with Heart is our last winner of the night. Lovely.
Look at that. No respins today. A very efficient day.
Very professional.
On this Monday. Don't forget, guys, we have tons of more content here on our Twitch channel. Tomorrow, we've got our home game with Leo Jakura. In fact, it's kind of like the Leo Jakura week. So make sure you are here all week. We'll be back next Monday with another Magic Monday. Once again, congratulations to Pasha, right? Is that who said it?
Yeah, Pasha, that's Pasha short for Pavel or Pavel short for Pasha. One of those two. Either way, they're very good at poker.
Right, and they're $8,000 richer. So well done, them. Congratulations to all the winners. Big thanks to Lime, Ricky, and Hayden. For Nick Wealthall, I am David Tuckman. Good night, everybody.
Good night.